(6:15 p.m). This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. The World Habitat Day celebration held under the patronage of Prime Minister. The Speaker endorses certificate on Sri Lanka Rupawahini Corporation Amendment Bill. The Trade Minister says price of wheat flour would be reduced soon. Japan's Global Trust Network assures to facilitate caregiver jobs for Sri Lankan workers. Mini animal zone of Hambantota Ridiyagama Safari Park will be opened tomorrow. Foreign news reports say students are trapped amid clashes in Tehran. Sports, cheating rows rock chess, poker and fishing. Those are the headlines and now the details. Today is World Habitat Day. The main ceremony in connection with the day was held under the patronage of Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena at the Temple Trees. It has been organised by the Urban Habitat Development Authority. The Prime Minister handed over certificates and cash prizes for the winners of various competitions held in connection with the day. In addition, awarding of title deeds was done at the event. Addressing the gathering, Prime Minister also said migration to cities is very low in Sri Lanka due to rural infrastructure development. Speaker of Parliament Mahinda Apabewardena announced to the House this morning that he endorsed the certificate on the Sri Lanka Rupawahini Corporation Amendment Bill, which was passed in Parliament on the 22nd. This bill, to amend the Sri Lanka Rupawahini Corporation Act No. 6 of 1982, has amended the third section of the Act. This changed the board composition of the Rupawahini Corporation. Minister Mahinda Amaravira says Paddy Marketing Board has purchased paddy worth about 800 million rupees so far. He said that purchasing process will begin as soon as the funds were received. He further said there is no necessity to import rice as there are sufficient stocks in the country. Replying to a question from MP Kings Nelson in Parliament today, the minister said the country is scheduled to receive 800 metric tons of fertilizer in the next 3 weeks. Meanwhile, Minister Nalin Fernando said that price of wheat flour would be reduced soon. He said steps have been taken to import 100 containers of wheat flour next week. Japan's Global Trust Network has assured the Minister of Labour and Foreign Employment Manusha Nanakara that it will facilitate measures to provide more than 1,000 caregiver jobs in Japan for Sri Lankan workers. Minister of Labour and Foreign Employment Manusha Nanakara, who is visiting Japan in a bid to secure more job opportunities for Sri Lankan youth in Japan, held discussions with the GTN chairman Hiroyuki Goto, manager of Skilled Labour Division Yuka Kuwahara, and top officials of the frontline management in the organization. During the discussions, the Japanese officials agreed to provide jobs for 150 caregiver workers this year itself and recruit another 1,000 workers by next year. Arrangements have been made to open the Mini Animal Zone Animal Conservation and Migratory Bird Rescue Centre belonging to the second phase of the Hambantota Ridiyagama Safari Park tomorrow. Minister Mahinda Amaravira said the second phase will be opened in an area of about 500 acres, has been allocated for the Ridiyagama Safari Park, and 13 zones have been set up for different types of animals. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Akila Viraj Karivasam, Deputy Leader of United National Party, said country is going ahead with sustainable national policy. He said the country is stepping forward with development. Price of many essential commodities, including petrol, have been reduced. Government has taken measures to provide relief to the people. Therefore, he urged all to set aside political agendas and support country's development. These views were expressed by Mr. Karivasam at a media briefing held in Colombo this morning. High Commissioner of India to Sri Lanka Gopal Bagle paid a visit to Batticaloa and Trincomalee on Saturday and Sunday. The High Commissioner began his visit to Batticaloa by attending the convocation ceremony of the Eastern University on Saturday as the chief guest. On this occasion, he announced a special financial assistance scheme to support the studies of 100 university students from economically backward families. The Indian High Commissioner began his visit to Trincomalee on Sunday with a puja at the Tirukoneswaram Kovil, which is an ancient Hindu temple. To mark the 153rd birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, an event was organized at the Lanka Indian Oil Corporation facility in Trincomalee, which was attended by High Commissioner. The Indian High Commissioner led floral tribute to Gandhi and recalled Mahatma Gandhi's visit to Sri Lanka in 1927 and his close association with the Sri Lankan people. Police Sergeant B.A. Buddhika Kumara, who apprehended 2 bank robbers at Tambutegama, has been promoted to the rank of Sub-Inspector of Police. The police headquarters said he has been promoted with the approval of the Public Service Commission. He has been awarded with a Medal of Police Valor and also a monetary prize of 2.5 million rupees on behalf of Sri Lanka Police. And that ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
On the main news story, the 51st session of the United Nations Human Rights Council is being held in Geneva and is scheduled to conclude on Friday. It is expected that the draft resolution titled Promoting Reconciliation, Accountability and Human Rights in Sri Lanka, tabled by the United Kingdom, Canada, Germany, Malawi, Montenegro, North Macedonia and the United States will be taken up for action on Thursday. Minister of Foreign Affairs Ali Sabri will be travelling to Geneva for the concluding segment of the 51st session of the Council. He will be accompanied by officials from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Now in Watchlight, 3 out of 7 golf carts used at the Peradeniya Botanical Gardens to transport visitors are reported to have been withdrawn from service for more than a year due to the unavailability of new batteries to replace the dead batteries. These carts are used at the Botanical Gardens to transport local and foreign visitors upon making a payment in addition to the entrance fee. The visitors request authorities to replace batteries and put the carts back into service. And that was Watchlight. Now moving on to a bulletin of world news. In the headlines, reports say students are trapped amid clashes in Tehran. Ex-Prime Minister Borisov is set to win Bulgarian election. Record avian flu outbreak sees 48 million birds culled in the UK and EU. World news in detail. According to social and state media reports, Iranian police clashed with students at one of the country's most prestigious universities yesterday. Reports say a large number of students at Sharif University in Tehran have been trapped in the campus car park. Videos on social media appear to show students running away from security forces with apparent gunshots fired. Anti-government protests erupted in Iran in September after the death of a woman detained by the morality police. Preliminary results show Bulgaria's centre-right party has won the country's parliamentary election, led by ex-Prime Minister Boyko Borisov. Took 25.4% of votes with 99% of ballots counted. But the 63-year-old faces a difficult task forming a working coalition, as most other parties have already ruled out working with him. Many of his opponents accuse him of overseeing government corruption during his time in office, which he denies. Around 48 million birds have been culled across the UK and the EU in last year as a result of the largest outbreak of avian flu on record. In the UK, 161 cases of highly pathogenic avian influenza were detected in poultry and captive birds, leading to the culling of 3.2 million birds. That compared to the previous record of 26 cases in 2020-2021. The UK government said the culled birds were a small proportion of total production. Back to the headlines of the world news. Reports say students are trapped amid clashes in Tehran. Ex-Prime Minister Borisov is set to win Bulgarian election. And record avian flu outbreak sees 48 million birds culled in the UK and EU. That was world news. Now on to development news. Sri Lanka United Nations Friendship Organization Global Federation recently held its Sustainability Development Goals Agenda 2030 Global Action Week, signifying its 7th anniversary. In 2015, member of states of the United Nations adopted 17 new sustainable development goals to bring together institutions, organizations and societies in the aim of building a more prosperous, inclusive, sustainable and resilient world. The goals include poverty eradication, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation. And that was development news.
Sports News is brought to you by...
With many values that bind us beyond the transaction, we are Sampath Bank. We present your future.
On to sports news. Top-level US poker and match fishing have been dogged by their own claims of cheating. A casino is investigating after one player stunned poker fans by making an audacious bet to win a huge pot. Meanwhile, two fishermen have been accused of stuffing their catchers with lead weights in order to win a tournament held at Lake Erie in Ohio. And world chess officials are probing whether a teen cheated in face-to-face matches, which he denies. On to rugby news. Australia coach Mel Menninger has named 13 uncapped players in his squad as they chase a third men's rugby league World Cup title in a row. The Kangaroos beat England in the 2017 final, but have only played 4 tests since, with their last match a shock toss to Tonga 3 years ago. Australia starts their campaign against Fiji in Leeds on Saturday, 15th of October. And that is sports news.
A special interest rate of 15% on savings certificates opened in October. Prarthana for children, Prarthana Plus for adults. NSB Prarthana, your dreams realized.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
On business news, Cosmetics.lk Private Limited, which had made a name for itself as a marketer of premium and award-winning cosmetics brands and essential products, was recently declared a gold winner in the e-commerce category at Best Web Awards. This event was organized by LK Domain Registry. Cosmetics.lk was awarded for the overall aesthetic of the website, ease of use and reliability of service. And that was business news.
Business News, sponsored by...
When I grow up, I'll fly to the moon somehow.
Envision your future now. NSB Prarthana will show you the path to your dreams. This thrift month, open a savings certificate. It's a long-term investment on your future with great returns. A special interest rate of 15% on savings certificates opened in October. Prarthana for children, Prarthana Plus for adults. NSB Prarthana, your dreams realized.
Economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
On economic news, tourist arrivals kept on increasing with 526,232 arrivals reported from January to September 30th, 2022. This is more than double the number of total arrivals reported in the entire 2021, which was 194,495, showing positive sentiments of the revival of the industry. Total number of arrivals in September was 29,802. The best month for arrivals for 2022 was March, where 106,500 tourists visited Sri Lanka. And that was economic news.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
In the weather report, the Met Department says showers will occur at times in the western, Sabaragamu and northwestern provinces and in Kandy, Nuwara, Galle and Matra districts. Fairly heavy falls, about 75 millimeters, can be expected at some places in Sabaragamu province and in Kandy and Nuwara districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in Uva and eastern provinces during the evening or night. Strong winds about 55 kilometers per hour can be expected at times over the western slopes of the Central Hills, northern, north central and southern provinces and in Trincomalee and Putlam districts. That was the weather report, and to conclude, the headlines again. The World Habitat Day celebration held under the patronage of Prime Minister. The Speaker endorses certificate on Sri Lanka Rupawahini Corporation Amendment Bill. The Trade Minister says price of wheat flour would be reduced soon. Japan's Global Trust Network assures to facilitate caregiver jobs for Sri Lankan workers. Mini animal zone of Hambantota Ridiyagama Safari Park will be open tomorrow. Foreign news reports say students are trapped amid clashes in Tehran. And in sports, cheating rows, rock chess, poker and fishing. And with that, we end this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.